Today I'm going to be doing a grand campaign as the Kingdom of Jerusalem in Europa Universalis 4. Our goals for this grand campaign were, after starting off as Cyprus, to become the most powerful crusader state the world has ever seen by conquering the entirety of the Balkans, Anatolia, the Mashriq, Arabia, Egypt, and the Maghreb, and along the way to form the Kingdom of Jerusalem and the Latin Empire and convert everything to Catholic. This is where we left off last time. We pretty much have a dominant position in the Balkans and in Anatolia, and we've already formed the Kingdom of Jerusalem, and we can already form the Latin Empire. So this episode, it's time to continue with some hard pushes into Egypt, Arabia, and the Mashriq, and to get working on our latest goal of dismantling the Holy Roman Empire, which is not so holy anymore since the Protestants won. This is episode 3. Check out episodes 1 and 2 if you haven't already. Links will be in the description and in the pinned comment. But now, let's jump in as Jerusalem. Hey everyone, before this video begins, I just want to let you guys know that if you're seeing this, then that means we are live right now on the Parabellum YouTube and Twitch channels with week 3 of the final season of EU4 Hegemon. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the final season of the ultimate competitive EU4 show hosted by myself, Laith, and Midge. All of your favorite competitors like Flory, Zlowick, Lemon Cake, and you, that's right, you, the audience, is participating for the first time this season. Like I said, week 3, 2 weeks have already gone by. It's been crazy. Not gonna give you guys any spoilers, but listen, if you haven't checked it out, head on over there right now. And even if you have, here's a quick reminder that you should be watching us live. And listen, if we're not live anymore when you're seeing this, obviously you can always watch the VODs or wait for the videos to release. But yeah, week 3, man, let's just say these are some of the hardest challenges anyone can do in EU4, period. Yeah, go on over there. Now let's get back to the video. Alright, here we are back as Jerusalem, ladies and gentlemen, for episode 3 of our grand campaign, and I do have to say we're looking absolutely lovely. Number 5 on the great powers list, so pretty powerful, making a ton of money as well. We've already wrapped up quality, religious, offensive, and trade. Everything is getting converted over here. Our mission to form the Latin Empire is right there, and we will be doing it shortly. I'll just stick out maybe a decade or 2 more as Jerusalem, and then I think it's time for the Latin Empire. But yeah, this episode, man, we're gonna get started by chopping down Akkuyunu over here, conquering the Mashriq, pushing into Arabia further. And by the way, last time I did ask you guys if you want me to release a march or something like that and have them conquer the entirety of Caucasia. I asked you whether we should do it as Georgia or as Armenia, and even though a lot of you agree with me that Georgia is cooler for the defensive stuff, a big defensive march, Armenia is more fitting from a role play perspective. So that's exactly what we're gonna do over in the region of the Caucasus. So yeah, main focus this episode on this right here, and we're gonna see if we can do something with the HRE, or will we have to wait until we border them to actually fight them. But let's continue. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do, or actually we can't release Armenia from there, can we? I wanted to do my first war versus Trebizond, but yeah, they don't have a province. So we gotta fight who first? We gotta fight QQ first. Or actually, we will get QQ involved in this war as well. Yeah, maybe we can take like these provinces from Trebizond and like 2 from QQ, just so we can release like, Armenia from Yerevan and feed everything to them. Yeah, I think that's the next war. Alright, well, time to get into it. There's our deck on Trebizond. Spain won't help them, just a regular conquest since I did force them to be Catholic, so we can't use Deus Vult on them. You know what, let's call in Poland, why not? Okay, war is done, and actually this is the peace deal I'm gonna do. I'm taking this from Trebizond and this from QQ down here. Let's get all of their money as well, and we're done. Okay, quick and easy war right there at the start. Let's release Armenia. They won't be Coptic, but I will force them to be Catholic. There we go, there's enforced religion right there. And now I'm gonna go ahead and grant them, yeah, these provinces right there. So there's a Grant province. We do that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. Perfect. All right, there we go. And we're just converting so fast, man. Everything we took from Armenia is like insta converted. Missionary strength is real good. A ton of missionaries as well. We're not Defender of the Faith though. I can't be re-become one because we don't have that much prestige. Okay, yeah, I think now we're just gonna wait for our truce with the Mamluks to expire in about 5 years and then go into it with them. I probably want to get a border with the Maghrebi nations over here. Obviously, I mentioned last time that, you know, maybe we won't fight Spain or Portugal because they are our Catholic brethren, but, you know, who knows what the ambitions of the new dynasty that has been enthroned in Jerusalem will be. You know, maybe we'll be mad that they aren't converting stuff over here, you know? Maybe we're gonna have to get into it with them too. I guess we'll see. Successful Sardinia, you don't see that too often. Well, not successful for long. High Admiralty, they're, yeah, what is that? Obviously, this has opened up a couple of other routes of expansion. We could fight Russia over here. Poland and Austria would help, so that would be bomb. We really don't need that many provinces from them, man. In fact, we only need one province from them, so I can't spy for it. I don't know if Armenia is gonna get a claim, and I don't know if I can threaten war for a subject thingy, so yeah, we might have to get into it with Russia for literally this one 8-dev province that produces cows. Hey, I stopped being Curia controller. There's admin 18, which means it's next idea group time, which means it's next mill idea group time. Defensive or quantity is obviously what we want to go with here. Policies, I guess, at this point don't really matter that much since we got the early ones out of the way. We got religious and trade as well. The policies with quantity are nice, morale, and then goods produced. Whereas with this is a merchant and trade steering and unrest and attrition for enemies. We're probably gonna end up taking both, honestly. At this point, man, can we run a bigger army? Ish. We can run a bigger army, ish. I think I like defensive more, though. Let's go with defensive now and quantity later. There we go. Alright, truce with the Mamluks is up. Assessing the situation, Adal, who is fairly large, Adruan, yeah, both of these guys are annoying. Damn, they're all of their allies that are, like, annoying. Yeah, okay, let's prioritize getting, like, to Tripoli and down to here in this war, I think. Stretch out a little bit, why not? Okay, there's the declaration on the Mamluks. I think we're just gonna do regular holy war. And that's 99% on the Mamluks. Honestly, their allies were harder. I pieced out Betsy Misaraka, white pieced them, and Adal really pieced them because I went to siege frickin' that province right there. Luckily, it was a 4 siege guy. It's a level 6 fort. But yeah, let's see if we can do this right here. If we got enough war score for this. Okay, so I'm taking Tripoli like that as well. Damn, he is pretty high. Can I make it down here as well? Yes, I can. Okay, it's kind of a weird peace deal, I know, boys, but this is gonna be it. Yeah, let me take that annoying fort right there as well, and there we go. There's the, you know, this war with the Mamluks done. Okay, now we can core most of these provinces up. It's all cool, we're chilling, and can we take another mission? Probably not yet, just the Latin Empire. We'll be forming it shortly, don't worry, it'll be this episode. But like this, we border Tunis as well. So there's another expansion opportunity. They got some weird-ass allies that are gonna make this war slow, man. Jenne, Kong, Jolof, and Kilwa? This Kilwa's been through something. What the hell did Ajran do? Yeah, Yemen we could also fight. We got a tiny little Mikhalf right here. Later we're gonna get into it with Persia, but let's actually check out Akkuyunlu. Yeah, all of these guys are like super salty, man. Maybe it's time to, you know, even at this point, go against Hungary. Poland and Austria would help, so it really wouldn't be that difficult, and we don't need to take that many provinces from them. It's like these right here. Too bad we'll have to do 2 wars because Croatia's involved as well, but maybe we could take everything we need from Hungary, and then just later it's only a war with Venice and I guess Silly. That I guess we'll probably do when we dismantle HRE. Yeah, I wasn't gonna do that this campaign, but I think it's time we lay off of the, you know, of the Muslim nations for a bit. Sure, we're fighting a Catholic nation over here, and it's not very roleplay, but listen, our new administrators in the Kingdom of Jerusalem, Emperor Amalric III of the Alba dynasty, once again French/Spanish, he's not satisfied with how the Hunyadis are running, you know, the Balkans, man. He was like, yo, listen, we're Catholic, we gotta be converting stuff, but these guys are like, no, grant Orthodox autonomy to the burghers, and we're like, well, we can't be having that. Obviously, us fighting Hungary this early enables us to expand our, you know, dismantling HRE goal further, because listen, what is this? Oh my god, these guys aren't holy, and they don't deserve the name of Roman Empire anymore. Yeah, it's just we have to do what we have to do. So we got a Paleologus from the Montferrat branch in charge of our navy. That's interesting. Alright, for this, we do have to build up a spy network on Hungary, though. Well, if we fight Akkuyunlu, this is gonna be an annoying war, man. This tiny Kazan over here, big Persia, Jaunpur, I guess, is defender of the faith in Asia, so Oof, that's gonna be annoying. Okay, let's save Hungary and do them before that, man. Oh, now even Spain is willing to come in? Dude, this is perfect. And I just realized, didn't we have played Urbino before Utrecht in A to Z? Why the hell did I play Utrecht? Okay, sorry, that's a mix-up on my end. Urbino coming next week, I guess. Alright, well, spine work built up and manpower's back up. Let's go ahead and fight Hungary. Well, you know, the reason is, we're simply not satisfied with how they're running their Orthodox and, you know, reformed, you know, provinces. They're not supposed to be doing that. So, we're going in. You know, I'm actually gonna separate piece make Croatia a vassal right here so we can reconquer some of their provinces. Obviously, it's the age of absolutism, boys. We don't need reconquest now or whatever, but why not, you know? That's 29 AE in a separate piece. If I take it like this, it's about the same, isn't it, ish? No, it's like 30. Yeah, well, it's about the same-ish. Is this all takeable in one piece deal, though? It is. How angry will they be? They won't be that angry. Oh, wait, I actually need this one, too. Yeah, we gotta do a separate piece here. So I'm separate piecing Croatia, making them a vassal. There we go. And back to being Defender of the Faith. Very nice. And Hungary is willing to accept. So I'm taking this right here, and this goes back to Croatia. There we go. Okay, now, you know, we almost border the HRE so we can advance on that front as well. These guys still not too mad. I think I'm gonna chill for a little bit here, and then maybe, let's see, what's the thing with Venice right here? Okay, France is gonna be involved in that, but still, all my boys are willing to come in, so, you know, maybe we wrap it up over here. Maybe we can, like, threaten war on Scilly or something. Yeah, it's fight Venice for these 4 provinces and perhaps a threaten war on Scilly for that Croatian core, if we can. Or maybe ally them and ask for return core or something like that. That's a possibility as well. And then the only war we need to do this way is the dismantle HRE one, which that one is going to be complicated. Yeah, I don't know about the alliances with these guys, you know? And then Thuringia is not allied to any of them. Yeah, we're really going to have to step up our Diplo game. That's why we got to fight Venice now, so everyone has lots of time to forget, you know, what we did over here. Beat these guys up a little bit and then try to ally every elector that Thuringia isn't allied to and just declare on probably like Scilly or something, man, like this. Okay, Scilly didn't want to give me that province via threatened war, so I just sent them a gift and allied them. I'm gonna curry favors, wait for them to be able to give this back to Croatia, and then I'm just gonna break the alliance. Simple. We need 51 favors for that because I guess it's, yeah, it's pretty dev'd, but luckily we're gaining favors super quickly. And I think we already got favors with Scilly, man. Return core province, there's Varaj right there, back to Croatia, and that's it. No bloodshed. Respect to Scilly. And now I'm fighting them. Austria called me in versus Bavaria, and they're in it. Oh my god, dude. That's hilarious. Alright, this little war that Austria dragged me in with Bavaria here is done, and I built up claims on Venice. Not that we needed them, you know, it's half Croatian cores, half our claims. I think it's time to go ahead and declare on them. This is gonna... Oh, wait, now no one wants to help. What the hell? Poland is in debt. Spain is also in debt. 1,400 plus 700, that's about 2,000 ducats I need to send over. Well, actually more, probably like 2,000 to them and 1,000 to them. So let's just gather up some cash and then we'll do it. Not that I need their help, but France is involved, so I need someone to push or to keep France busy here. Dude, look at what Ethiopia's doing, man. They're actually freaking huge this campaign. I've never seen them go in here. I've seen them make it up to here lots of times, but they never go here. Yeah, doing the gold meta, I see. But, yeah, we're gonna have to fight this pretty big Ethiopia later on because we do want to do the mission Ark of the Covenant, which requires us to own Axum, so we are going to get into the Horn of Africa a little bit as well. And actually, there's our tier 9 Gov Reform time. We probably want to do 6 books here for separatism. Is there a religious one, perhaps, except for 2 treatises? I guess not. Alright, gifts have been sent, and they are willing to accept. Perfect. We're just going to do Reconquest here, since we only really want 4 provinces. Poland, Austria, Spain. Let's go. Too bad I'm fighting the Pope now, but hey, it is what it is, right? Man, France is a lot more powerful, or my allies are a lot dumber than I thought, because Austria and Spain got peaced out, and they really weren't even occupied that much. I don't get it. I only need 30% war score for this, so it's not like it's that bad, but goddamn. Okay. And these level 6 forts, annoying as hell, too. Oh, okay, white piece from France, sure. Okay. And that's it. They're willing to accept. So these two go to Croatia and these two go to me. And that's it. We are done with conquering the Balkans as well. And we've actually finally completely taken over a region that we need to for the goals for this campaign. Now we're good to annex Croatia. Everything is good right there. We do border the HRE. So, you know, we'll try and get started on the whole, you know, allying certain electors deal. But, yeah, now aggressive expansion, I was gonna say, has ticked down with these guys, but it really hasn't. I think, oh, Mamluks guaranteed by Ethiopia now. Okay, then let's do AQ first. All of these wars are starting to get a similar level of annoyingness. Hey, what the hell, Austria? Why did you break the alliance with me, dog? I don't like that at all. And you know, by the way, in roleplay, just upgraded my armies, by the way, in roleplay, the reason why we're not forming the Latin Empire is this is the first emperor, you know, this first Alba guy who's 65, and he's the first one out of this new dynasty that we have. You know, earlier we had the other guys, I don't remember their names, but he's like, you know, I've been entrusted to take control of the throne of Jerusalem, you know, I'm gonna do honor by it, blah, 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 whereas, you know, his kids, Baldwin here, for example, 445, you know, he may not care that much, or he might because he's been around for so long, you know, he's been watching his father rule over this realm, so he might want to keep the, you know, the name going and stuff like that, but, you know, his kid, Baldwin's kid, or heir, whatever he is, he may not care about that much, you know, he may be like, I want to make a name for myself. You know, Jerusalem, what do I have to do with Jerusalem? I'm French, you know, born and raised in the courts of Toledo and Madrid, you know, because they are, you know, from the Spanish dynasty, but they're French culture, right? So he's like, why not make a name for myself? Why not proclaim the Latin Empire? So the reason we're waiting to form it is mostly roleplay reasons, you know, you get it. And there he is, I was just speaking about him, and Baldwin has become in charge. Now Godfrey right here, 144, you know, a skilled diplomat and a militarist, but not that good at administration, which is precisely why he may cause the, let's call it maybe a blunder to you know, declare the Latin Empire, you know? So he's 0 years old. Obviously, these things don't matter when he's 0, and I like the system in EU5 a lot more where you can educate them, but this might be the guy that proclaims the Latin Empire. I guess we'll have to see. And a lot of you guys were saying that we should start culture converting stuff to French as well, you know, so why not? Why not, you know, do some unaccepted cultures? Let's see. Do we have Albanian, for example, right here? It's only 4 provinces anyway. So sure, let's bring our people over, man. Actually, in roleplay reason, it might make sense to like move them to our important cities and stuff like that, like Constantinople or Jerusalem or Cyprus, you know, our former capitals and stuff like that. It would probably be like really expensive to change it to French, but we are maxing out on Diplo, so why not? Why not? Yeah, there we go. You know, where all the nobility settles and stuff like that. I should probably also accept Egyptian here because it is going to be a lot of them. Yeah. Next idea group time once again. What could we possibly go with right here? I guess Diplo would be good for doing the whole HRE thing, but really, man, I'm kind of leaning more into like money and administration stuff, honestly. I'd rather pick up like economic or infrastructure or even admin at this point. How are we on GovCap? We should be good. Yeah, we're good on GovCap. Why not do another money-making one? I'm gonna go economic here. Yo! French conquest of Rome? I forgot to re-ally them. Well, this can't stand. This simply can't stand. We've had our quarrels with the Pope when we wanted to fight Venice, sure, but we can't let the French, even though we're French, kinda. Yeah, remember? Even though we're French, kinda. We can't let this stand. You know, the Valois, sure, they may be a more reputable, you know, noble dynasty being in charge of France for so long, but listen, we can't let this stand. An alliance with the Pope, once again, is a must. And I will threaten or enforce peace on France. We can't let them hold Rome. There it is, the papal, you know, whatever. Yes, I accept to battle with King Baldwin at the helm of the 2nd Army and Henry Plethon in charge of the 8th one out of 2. We charge onto Rome. Since we're very rich, we'll help out the Pope monetarily here as well by sending him some big gifts right here that he can use to somehow better his country while at war. Now, France here is pretty powerful, I gotta say. So if we do an army quality comparison, I do got more morale than them. They got more discipline. combat abilities, I don't know. They have picked up quality, so tricky. Oof, their armies are superior, man. Their armies are superior. And we're pretty near force limit. I gotta pull out a merc company here. I got rid of the independent one. We just gotta be careful here. There it is. Tech 21. Ooh, they're 22. That's the difference. Frick me. And yes, Emperor Baldwin, in all his wisdom, knows how dangerous this is. Because if he perishes versus kinda his own people, you know, a regency will happen for Godfrey right here. And Maria de Neufville, I don't know where she's from, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe she can't be trusted. Oh my god, what now? Polish conquest of Danzig? Why would you call me into an offensive war, man? God damn it, bruh. Fine. No, wait a minute. Wait just a damn minute. HRE. Thuringia, Brandenburg, Saxony, Verden. Thuringia? Brandenburg's not here. Saxony, Verden. Okay, Brandenburg. I can ally them. Okay. So that's all of these guys checked. Oldenburg, Brunswick, Baden, Lorraine. Oldenburg, Brunswick, Baden, and Lorraine aren't here. Baden and Lorraine aren't here. I can ally Baden, and I can ally Lorraine too. I just need to get the opinion up. Oh my god. This is the war we could dismantle the HRE. I would just need to occupy, yeah, the guys that are involved in this. So Verden, Saxony, Oldenburg, Brunswick, and Thuringia's capital. That's actually not that bad. There's Brandenburg. There's Baden and Lorraine. Right? I did just ally Baden, didn't I? Yes, I did. And Lorraine. Yes, after royal marrying them, I can ally them. Yeah. Thuringia, Saxony, Verden, Oldenburg, Brunswick. Okay, boys. It's time to pull out all the stops. We're gonna go into heavy debt right here. Get out massive merc companies. There's the independent company back up and the free company with it. I'm immediately gonna split one of these guys off. Let's keep this guy here. This guy can go... What's Thuringia's capital? Weimar. I can't get to there. I need to go through Bayreuth first. Let's go. Does Poland have them as provinces of interest? No. So I can occupy them. Alright, so I got Weimar. I'm going towards, I'm already in Brunswick, going towards Oldenburg with this stack right now. Something that happened is that Saxony is out. However, I can ally them. So it's all the same. Verden, Oldenburg, Brunswick. Already in Brunswick. We gotta keep stepping off so they don't get pieced out. Would I be able to... Actually, no, we're good. Because I'd be able to ally Brunswick even if they get pieced out. So that's good. The France-Pope situation is done, and in fact, we've helped the Pope expand because he's taken Perugia and Siena. So excellent, that's a war done. This other army down here actually got beaten up, but now they can go and help out here. Yeah, I need to take down Hoya before I can move on to Verden. It's just Verden left. Brunswick got pieced out, but I did ally them, and we're in a war together now because Brandenburg called me into something else. Oldenburg can't be separate peace, though. Because they're a subject of Mecklenburg, that will be the worst thing that can happen. Because if Oldenburg gets pieced out, I can't ally them. Because they're a subject, so we really need to rush to Verden right here, man. Barrage then assaulted both of these. We have control of Verden. Ladies and gentlemen, after decades of utter humiliation for the Catholic faith, because these fools in Germany and France and Bohemia have decided to call themselves the Holy Roman Empire, when there's nothing holy about them. Half of them are Protestant, half of them are Reformed, and they dare call themselves that. Protestant is their official faith. Well, us, as the defenders of Catholicism, the ultimate crusader state, have decided that they are no longer worthy of the name, that they should no longer exist. So Emperor Baldwin VI of Alba himself, in Verden, one of the electors, on August 23rd, 1676, decided that the Holy Roman Empire could exist no more. An empire finally put to its overdue rest. And just like that, the heretics will no longer tarnish our good name. All right, what are these wars I'm actually in right now? What the hell? Yeah, okay. I don't care about any of this, honestly. I'm just going home now. Yeah, I'm going home. Hey, but just like that, man, out of nowhere, we helped the Pope defend Rome and we dismantled the HRE. So there's another goal right there accomplished. By now, aggressive expansion still hasn't ticked down, but at least we can finally get back to what's really important. Conquering. All right, hopped out of those wars. But at 52 years old, Emperor Baldwin VI of Alba, going back to the city he was born in, Constantinople, seeing it change in front of his very eyes with his people coming in, and feeling emboldened by the declaration that he decided that the Holy Roman Empire no longer existed. He decided there should still be a premier empire with its roots in Rome, in Europe. He decided it should come back because, you know, the title King of Jerusalem, Emperor of Jerusalemites was no longer enough for him. He decided to bring back an empire, the Latin Empire. Constantinople is ours, and ladies and gentlemen, with that we stop being a regular crusader state and we enact, wait, no, it's the same thing, isn't it? Constantinople is ours and we have become the Latin Empire, the premier empire in Europe and the world, with Catholicism at its core. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are the shield of Christendom, and we do get new Latin ideas, which I honestly, I'm not sure if they're better than the Jerusalemite ones, but we do gain plus 5% discipline, plus 3% missionary strength versus heretics, an additional missionary legitimacy and vassal force limit plus 100%, yearly papal influence and curia powers cost, staff discount and advisor discount, global trade power and galley combat, cav combat and cav to infantry ratio, unjustified demands, and war score cost versus other religions at plus 1 diplo rep, and manpower in true faith provinces. And with that, we have become the Latin Empire, and that is another goal accomplished. And we're the Curia controller too, which is very nice. All right, role-playing aside, that's another goal accomplished, ladies and gentlemen. We got all of the Balkans, we dismantled the HRE, we have formed the Latin Empire, we had formed Jerusalem. Now the only thing that's left to do is finish conquering these regions and to convert them all to Catholic fully. Yes. But before that, we need to get our manpower back up, so. And with that, the golden era of our nation had started. And with that, after having dismantled the Holy Roman Empire and declared the Latin Empire, Emperor Baldwin VI's life work was over, and he passed away peacefully in his chambers in our, second city of Constantinople. He was just 53 years old, a mere child. Godfrey of Alba was right by his side when he perished and decided he would continue his father's dream of, conquering everything I said we'd conquer. In the meantime, wrapped up defensive, and we can take a merchants and trade steering, and we'll pick that up as well. Where do we put another merchant, man? I feel like we're actually pretty good with merchants. We've got them almost everywhere we want them to be. Aden maybe, Hormuz, no. I guess Persia for now. Meanwhile, absolutism is actually 47 out of 85, so okay, decent. Once Emperor Godfrey came into power at just 15 years old, he decided his first decree would be to move the capital back to his birthplace of Constantinople the way his father wished. What changed here? Yeah, let's go with this one. And for his second decision as Emperor of the Latin Empire, he decided to declare war on the tribe of Akkuyunlu, which had occupied the Fertile Crescent for many hundreds of years, calling in his trusty sidekick, calling in his trusty ally of the Commonwealth, a long-standing alliance between these two countries. It was time to declare, and not only take land for himself, but also for his subject of Armenia, which we still haven't made a march, actually. They do need to be a march. Let's do that first. Armenia, let's actually pay off their debt, and let's designate march. There we go. And now let's declare. Shoot, manpower. I didn't wait for manpower. God damn it, I'm stupid. Who are we fighting? Okay. Oh my god, Jaunpur's huge. God damn. How do we get to Persia? You know, I gotta say, the Commonwealth wasn't very helpful in this war. Luckily, Persia and Jaunpur were pretty easy to piece out. So, let's give all of this to Armenia up here, and then I'm just gonna be taking stuff for myself down here, and I guess this is it. Okay, there's another piece out. With that, we have acquired all of Anatolia as well, ladies and gentlemen, so we're coolin'. Okay, probably one more war with Akkuyunlu down here. Actually, we need this from them, I guess, so almost full annexing them. One war with Persia. We do need to take down Avaria, Nogai, Russia for one province right here. We'll get to those guys when we get to them, but yeah, we really gotta get involved with the Mamluks once again here. Yeah, Ethiopia will be involved, but hey, it is what it is. We just need to get our manpower up again. Alright, since I'm the Curia controller again, and I have this one right here, we can actually call for crusades, even though we're not in the Age of Discovery or Reformation anymore. Let's call one against the Mamluks. Alright, armies are in position. I am going to declare on the Mamluks. We do have imperialism now, so that's what we're going to be using, since it's 75% cost as well, as opposed to holy war. So yeah, let's go in. Alright, war is done. Ethiopia wasn't as much of a problem as I thought they'd be, because their capital is right here. So I took these forts and I took two over here and they were out, man. Adal, once again, easy, just one fort is all it took. But yeah, let's peace out the Mamluks. And I think in this war, man, I want to be taking all of the stuff that I have claims on over in Egypt right here. There we go, that's not bad. Absolutism should reduce that. And in fact, I'm gonna take everything I can take here, boys. Yeah, I'm tired of just pussyfooting around. So there we go. Major war versus the Mamluks. This is gonna cause rebellions and such like that. I will not restore the Cradle of Gold. We don't need that. We are plenty rich. Land of Moses. Permaclaim on the Tigray area. And this is what we actually want for the Ark of the Covenant right here. So we will continue to push further down later on until we get to Tigray. But yeah, let's core these provinces up. Should be pretty quick. We'll be converting in the meantime. And yeah, we just got to be careful with rebellions on this one. Oh, that really wasn't all that bad, man. Just one Mamlukian guys, some Sunni zealots, and then I had Bosnian and Serbian separatists. Really, man, there's no separatism in anything we've conquered just because we're doing it so slowly. There's a Royal Mortar and the Lycorn, 38 combat with now. You know what? I'm just going to max that up preemptively, man. We're near 40 anyway, so there we go. There's a... That's the final army template. Can we put a third one up? Yes, we can. But we'll do it a little bit later. I still want to put down a lot more manpower buildings. By the way, not fighting Tunis. I'm just helping out Spain here. Actually, let's transfer everything over to them, since we might end up fighting them later anyway, right? Alright, back the next day, boys. Let's go ahead and hit Akkuyunlu right here. We're going to call in the Commonwealth. We need to take everything from Akkuyunlu except the province of Arbil and Ahvaz right here. Calling in the Commonwealth. And yeah, let's wrap this up. And then it'll only be like, yeah, one war versus Persia just to take the stuff that they have over in Caucasia. Oh, and actually, wait, we need to take these things from Persia too. Okay. I almost forgot about that. Yeah, let's go. And this war is annoying. It's like, these guys aren't hard to fight, man, but there's just so many of them, dude. Jaunpur brought in like 150k, same with Persia, knocked Persia out earlier. Now I'm dealing with Jaunpur over here, but yeah, it's just a slog, dude. Right, the reason I started that clip was it's time for our, let's see, second to last Gov Reform time. Let's see, we're okay on GovCap. What do the other things do? I keep forgetting right here. It's CCR and minimum autonomy, +1 possible policies, tolerance of the true faith, war score cost versus other religions. Now, our war score cost versus other religions is already pretty good, I think. -35%, it'll go down to -40 with this, so not really that significant. But then again, GovCap, we don't need that because I can just spam these. So maybe +1 possible policies here? That gives me 4 instead of 3, right? Yeah, it does. Okay, so I can bring back some of these right here. Excellent. Yeah, that's what we're going with. Okay, just need to knock out Jaunpur and we're good, man. Why do they call me into things like this, man? Of course I gotta accept here, and I need stuff from Ethiopia too. But obviously this is still the primary focus. Alright, thank frick Jaunpur is out. So what we wanted to do here was an almost full annex on Akkuyunlu. We need this, right? That's in the... Oh wait, we actually need this too. What the hell? But that's owned by Persia. Okay, yeah, I will take that anyway when we fight them for Caucasia and the provinces right there. But yeah, that's all I need from Akkuyunlu. Okay, and that's a wrap. Perfect. I don't really plan on helping out freaking Spain in this war. I think I'm just gonna put one army down there and then the other one over here, just so, you know, Ethiopia doesn't go in my land. But yeah, there we go. We're actually very short on on admin. Okay, we need to put these down. Town halls, right? Yeah, town halls. Okay, there we go. Let's spam these up. You know, I never noticed this, but this Russia we have in this game is actually fairly powerful, man, because you know, they've expanded quite a bit down here. They also have almost all of Scandinavia, and well, Burgundy has Denmark for some reason, but they're actually really successful over in China, at least the, you know, the western half. And then we got Chu, a nation which I think I've played only like the other half, along with Korea, and then Japan's in Korea as well. Tongning is occupied by Britain. Just a little show off of what the rest of the world is up to. So we got Portugal and Denmark, and then Britain and Spain over here, and Portugal a little bit. Ethiopia, obviously, you guys have seen. Kilwa seems to be colonizing. I'm not really sure if they are. Then down here we got the Mamluks, of course, the Mamluks, and anything else interesting? I don't think so. I think everything else is pretty regular, schmegler, but you know, we do have a very successful Jaunpur over in India. I feel like if this game runs maybe not 100 more years, because we're definitely going to see that, but maybe 150, 200 more years, we're definitely going to see Bharat, or, well, Hindustan in Jaunpur's case. But yeah, we are almost done coring the stuff we took from QQ over here. Truce with Persia is up. I think as soon as we're done coring everything, I am going to hit Persia in order to give everything over here in Caucasia to Armenia. I'll take this province right here, obviously, since I showed it already, and we'll see if we can take this stuff over here. It does kind of seem like a lot of provinces, but obviously with absolutism and stuff like that, and war score cost versus other religions, we might be able to take everything we want from them in only one war. And then we'll be only left with like some minor Mamluk stuff over here, Yemen and Mikolv, and then of course some major wars with Ethiopia, and it's looking like it's gonna be Spain and Portugal. But we'll leave that for the last episode, because we got almost 100 years left right here, right? It's EU4, when does it end? 1821, right? So yeah, 103 years is what we got over here. So I think we're gonna wrap it up after this whole Persia thing. So yeah, let's see. No rebels in sight. These guys can be stationed down here. Persia's allies are, well, actually, we can wipe out Mikolv in this war as well. So I'm gonna send one army down there. Do we have the possibility for a third army? Yes, we do. But I'd rather do it after this war, because we're gonna need the manpower. Alright, I've been slackening recruiting standards a bit just so we get our manpower almost to the max. It is time to declare on Persia. They're like to Nogai, Mikolv, Akyunlu, and Delhi. So really an even smaller war than when we fought QQ. Obviously we're going imperialism here. Qom is actually real easy to siege down. It's only a level 1 fort. No allies, I guess. Not that the Commonwealth was doing too much in the last war. And yeah, let's go in. Do we co-belligerent Mikolv? No, because like that Yemen comes in. Yeah, I'll just wipe them out separately. Let's go. Okay, just a quick check. Just knocked out Akyunlu. It is possible to take everything we want from Persia, so we're good. Oh my god, they're finally willing to accept. Jesus Christ, such an annoying war, man. Such an annoying war. I knocked out Delhi and Nogai simply from beating their ass too much because my armies are so superior, but it was just a slog. Sieging, unsieging, sieging, unsieging. They even actually got Constantinople, man. So, okay, we can finally peace out, even though I haven't occupied this fort down here. And that is, yeah, I think that is everything we need from Persia. Just another check right here. But yeah, with that, we're good, man. With that, we're good. That is everything we need from them. Let's take their money as well. And now with that war being done, I am going to go ahead and grant some of these provinces up here to Armenia, of course. There we go. So that's the entire southern Caucasus portion on lock. Okay, let's go ahead and core these provinces up. At least the ones that I can afford to, once again. And yeah, unsiege if there needs to be any unsieging. In the meantime, the revolution has spawned. Lubeck is revolutionary. But yeah, with most of the provinces that we took from Persia being cored up, I think that is a pretty good place to leave it off for episode 3 right here, ladies and gentlemen. We are number 1 on the great powers list currently, so a fairly large nation. We're making excellent income, stacking ducats in the bank. Next time we'll get started by building up another army, you know, probably proclaiming a hegemon, building up the Suez Canal, and the only thing we need to do in order for this campaign to be complete is just nab a couple of provinces in the North Caucasus right here, you know, a minor war with Russia, and then Nogai and Avaria will take down in the same war. Finish off the rest of the Arabian Peninsula. It's like 1 or 2 wars versus Yemen right here. Eat up this tiny bit of the Mamluks so we can push into Ethiopia, because it is, well, a mini goal of ours to take the Ark of the Covenant mission right here. And of course, you know, even though we have our Catholic brethren over here in the Maghreb, they really aren't doing what they're supposed to, you know, from our perspective as the Latin Empire. So after we knock down Ethiopia and take this and this from them, there might be a conflict with our long-standing ally of Spain right here. We even have the same dynasty. We're family literally with them. But listen, if disagreements arise on how the Maghreb is governed, or, how the religion is handled in that region, we might have to, take certain steps in order to go our way. But yeah, pretty successful episode right here, man. We wrapped up a bunch of goals, dismantled the HRE, conquered the Balkans, conquered Anatolia, conquered the Mashriq. The only thing that we have left to conquer, like I said, is the rest of Arabia, the Maghreb, a bit of the Caucasus, and then to push into Axum right here. And that is all we're gonna do for the next 100 years in our final episode of our ultimate Crusader State Grand Campaign. But yeah, I think I'll leave it there for now. That's it for me for now. If you enjoy this series, man, make sure to leave a like if you haven't already, and subscribe if you're not subscribed, so you can stay up to date on when the final part of this series comes out. And of course, you can already start letting me know in the comments below what's the next grand campaign you'd like to see. I think we only probably got 2 more in us. One, I'm thinking it should be a Spanish one. I know you guys want to see the Aztec one as well, or whatever. And then the last one, of course, ever is going to be an Austria World Conquest One Faith. Even though I said I never do one ever again, I feel like that's a pretty good way to send off, kind of send off EU4 before EU5 comes out. But yeah, that's it for me for now. See you next time.